So we're going to take a little walk right now down Arthur Avenue. It's a beautiful November day. And we're going to take a walk down the main district here. Arthur Avenue, named for President Chester A. Arthur. We have a number of interesting landmarks besides all of the commercial businesses, restaurants, delis, bread stores, pork stores, cheese shops, butchers that we're known for around here. For example, this building right across the street where you see Torino Discount, this was the home of the Cinelli brothers. Cinelli, who owned half this neighborhood back in the early 1900s and was responsible for making it a place that Italians could settle in. And while it doesn't look like so from the outside, this is a beautiful Italian marble recreation of a palazzo in Italy. It's a modern supermarket. But what a lot of people don't realize is this building was originally owned by the Italian Bakers Union. When people had push carts on the street here, the entire block was lined with push carts front to back in the early 1900s, people would sell bread here on the street. But of course, where could they bake it? So they had communal ovens where they would come, bake a batch of bread, and then turn around, come out and sell it, go back upstairs and bake a batch of bread again. And I think if you could look carefully up on top, you'll see where it says Reliable Italian Bakers Incorporated, 1918. You'll see a lot of the old tenements still standing, built back in the early 1920s. All right, we're coming up on the corner here to the oldest deli in the neighborhood, Heidel Brothers, importers of oil and cheese. They've been here just over 100 years, which is not all that uncommon around here. We have many businesses that are a century old, still owned by the same families. As a matter of fact, if you're here 20, 30, 40 years, you're one of the newer businesses on Arthur Avenue. We have a number of restaurants, such as the one that we're looking at now, Zero Otto Nova, owned by Roberto Paciolo, well-known chef. Coming up here on the left is Cosenza's Seafood, another one of our 100-year-old businesses. We have here Biancardi Butchers, family owned for almost 100 years, right next to Madonia Brothers Bakery for over 100 years. But interestingly, the next building over here is the Arthur Avenue Retail Market. This building was built in 1940 for the express purpose of bringing all the push carts off the street and getting them indoors. It's one of the last public markets still owned by the city of New York and subleased to the North Bronx Cooperative Market that operates it. It was opened by Fiorello LaGuardia himself. And again, the oldest restaurant in the neighborhood, Mario's, owned by the Miliucci family for over 100 years, who came here by way of Egypt and then Italy, and they've been chefs going back to well into the 1800s. Of course, right now, during the COVID epidemic, you could see all our restaurants have very nice outdoor dining stations set up. But the attraction of this neighborhood is the quality, variety, and price of Italian and Italian-American products. Bread, cheese, sausage, and other items that are made fresh here every day, you know, with old family recipes in small, you know, artisanal quantities. And people from the tri-state area are down here shopping regularly. Not to mention, we have shoppers that come from around the country, and many of these businesses have mail order operations that ship products everywhere in the country, as well as wholesale operations. And that's not to mention the 15 or so full-service restaurants we have here that are well-known throughout New York, on top of the trattorias and cafes and pizzerias. And as we come to this intersection, this is more or less the end of the Little Italy section of Arthur Avenue. which is capped off at the end by the campus of St. Barnabas Hospital, which is this large wooded area to the right. They have several acres here in a internationally known hospital and research facility. And as you can see on this beautiful day, people are out enjoying coffee at the cafes. And if I know my neighborhood, people will be out here till midnight, relaxing, having a cup of coffee, sharing a nice conversation with friends. And that sort of wraps up a quick walk down Arthur Avenue in Little Italy.